Hello and welcome to Solo Playhouse. Feels funny saying that. So today I am playing Captain's Chair, and the reason I'm doing this is because yesterday Gaming Rules did a live stream with David Turtsey and his brother, who I've forgotten his name. Apologies. And they announced that they're releasing another full game of Captain's Chair to Boldly Go. Which will have Kirk in it, and also an expansion for both of those, this game and To Boldly Go. I haven't pre-ordered them yet because this game is quite complicated and it fries my brain a little bit. So it's one of those games that I want to enjoy more, but don't have the time to sort of invest in playing it to learn the rules. So consequently, I'm doing the basic sort of playthrough with Shran, and so there isn't. I'm not playing against anyone. I'm not playing against the AI. I'm just playing the deck, and that will be enough for me. This will probably take at least an hour and a half just to do this. And I haven't played this for a while, so I'm going to be going over rules for you and for myself. So let's look at the table. So here we have Shran, and I will go through. This again. This is partly for myself as well. So we have Shran here, and he starts with one of his ships, which is deployed in his fleet area. So this is his fleet area. These aren't included in his fleet area. And then we also have a staging area where I play cards out, but they will go into the discard at the end of every turn. I have 10 cards in my deck, 5 here and 5 that I've already drawn. They were randomly shuffled. But then when I get through my deck and I need to draw, I will add a card first from the reserve, which is on top of the development. So we get random cards from the reserve every time we go through the deck. And then with the development, we can buy those cards. So like the top one costs 3 dilithium crystals. So we can buy cards that we want to at that point. Sorry for sirens. Always sirens down this road. So yeah, I have 3 actions, which are represented by these. Of course, I've forgotten a name. I'm a huge Star Trek fan, I promise you. By these... Why does it not say it in there? It says 9 action tokens. Oh my god. Player set up. Oh, come on now. It's so sad that I can't remember. This is the thing I have with remembering names of things, that I get into a state where I would never be able to remember it because I get stressed out about not knowing it. So I'm going to find out. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue as well. And now I can't even find... Action step. Oh, of course it doesn't say. It uses the symbol. Help me out, somebody. What are these called? You put them in. All right, I can't remember. The rules doesn't say, because why would the rules tell you what something is called? And I'll remember it. It'll come back to me. It's so annoying that it doesn't say. So also we have a crew board, which at the end we will multiply things with. So, for example, Shran on his yellow track, he gets a multiplier earlier on than on his other tracks. So we might want to try and move up on that track to maximize the points we get. Although I think this is science track. Where's my little card? Yeah, research influence, and military. Oh, that nearly came to me. Anyway, so I've got 3 actions basically. So usually we would start a turn with a resupply, but we don't do that in the first round. We can't control anything. I'll explain that. We have planets up here that we can try and control and take over. So then we do actions. So we have 3 actions designated by, oh, it's going to drive me insane. So I think, what shall I play? Well, one of the things, I have a goal. There's only one goal on this side. This is a simple side of his crew board. Have 3 controlled locations in play and 4 weapons in play. And Shran has, well, I have 2 weapons in my hand right now. I think he has 2 weapons to start. And usually, quite often, some of the time, weapons are just played and they go into the discard at the end. But this weapon, it takes 1 action. So I will flip this over to denote we've used the action. And then we can spend 1 dilithium crystal. So I'll do that. I have 1 to start with. To gain 1 up on the military track. So the military track is here, and you might not be able to say too well, but we can move 1 up there. And then junk a card from the market. So the market is here, and so we can get rid of any card and put it into the junk. I want to get weapons, so this weapon probably is quite good. We also have persons. So this is Lenara Khan. I don't know whether we want her. The Binars gain a cargo, log this card. That will be quite good because weapons are cargo. So I don't want to discard that. So I think I'll junk her. So when we junk someone, a new someone comes out. Oh, it's Luxwana Troy. So then we've jumped from the market and we deploy this card. When we deploy a card, it goes into our main area where cards remain. That was called the fleet area. So this is out in the fleet area, and we want 4 weapons in play. So that's our first weapon. So that's our first action done. And then also, just to bear in mind, these cards, so Shran himself and his ship Kumari have activations on them, and we can do these activations and just turn the card once per turn. So Shran's is discard a cargo to send away team to a controlled location, and these are away teams. Shran has 5, and that's how we get to control planets and places, by sending away teams there. And we need to have, usually in a 2-player game, we would need to have 2 more away teams or ships than the other person. But in this game where we're just playing our own deck, we assume that the other player has one of everything. So they have one ship or away team on each planet. So we need to get 3 on a planet to control it. The Kamari also has activation, so we can spend 1 dilithium crystal to warp this ship, which means we can warp it over to a planet. We can warp it pretty much anywhere, I think, to other cards as well. We can also discard a card to beam a card here. So when you beam a card, it goes behind it, I think. Let me just check that. I'm pretty sure beaming does that. Take a card from your hand and place it face up underneath a card where it is beamed to, so that only its suits, traits, icons remain visible. Yeah, and I should explain about suits and traits. So this is a suit, so this is a person, and they have certain traits. So Talus has Ops, Attack, and Andorian. So if I beamed a card here, if I beamed her here, she would go behind here, and she would still have those traits available, which we might be able to use to gain things, but she would be out of play, which is a good way of getting cards out of play, because we want to try and cycle through our deck as quickly as possible, because we want these cards into our deck because they are the best cards. So what shall I do next? Oh, there's also another activation on this. Promote a person from your hand to duty officer. So, for example, Talus could be promoted to duty officer, and duty officer would go by Shran, and they would be able to be activated as well. So she can discard 2 cards to send an away team to a location. So this weapon, Ushan Tor, is an attack, and in this version of the game they're not as strong. Basically, an attack, we play it for free, we discard an Andorian to gain 1 glory, which are these tokens. Usually these would come off these cards, but not in this version of the game. And glory are victory points, basically. In a 2-player game, or with an AI opponent, you would force an opponent to dismiss 1 of their duty officers. So that's not great. We have an incident, which are usually bad things. So we can use an action, put a card on top of your deck. To return this card, you may promote a person from your staging area to duty officer. That's interesting. So I think I might play Talus, and we can send a duty officer, an away team, to a location. So I think we will do that. We might want to move up on the influence track. That is quite good though. So you may put a card on the top of your deck and spend an action to enlist a development. And developments are the cards that we can't get to for ages. That might be quite interesting. That is the Ancient Relay Station. Or Riser, find up to 3 persons except in your reserve deck and beam them here. That's interesting, so we can get cards out of our reserve. No, not from our reserve, but from our development. I'm going to go for that one. So there is one away team on there. So we have one and our opponent as such has one. So that's 2 of our actions. And now I'm going to play Ushantor. So Ushantor, play for free because it doesn't have one of these on it. So nearly came to me. So discard an... Oh, not that one, sorry. Not that one, this one. So it does have an action. Red alert incident. Put a card on top of your deck to return this card. So I think we will return Ushantor. Yeah. And then you may promote a person from your staging area to duty officer. So we'll promote Talus. And that is that. So we have no more actions left. This takes actions to play Imperial Pride. So we can't do anything else. So we've taken our actions. So we go into cleanup. So we would resolve the star date, which is this card. If we had, if we had no glory on this card, we would resolve the star date, but we can't do that. Then we place glory. So in this solo only game, we get to discard a card, and I'm going to discard Luxwana. And then we get to put 1 glory out. So I'm going to put 1 glory on that weapon because it's something that I will want. And then we discard. So I will discard Imperial Pride. And this gets discarded. And we refresh our actions. And we draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then we do a resupply, and Shran has a resupply, and that is gain 1 dilithium per cargo you have in play, and we have 1, so we get 1 dilithium. And then we look if we can control anything, any of these planets or anything, and we can't because we're drawn 1 for 1. And then we get to do our actions. So we have some new cards here. We have recruit. For an action, put a card on top of your deck to gain a person. When we gain means that we can take this person or the one from the top of the deck. We can also play take an incident to gain an ally. Same thing. We could. I don't know if we want to gain too many cards yet. We have confiscate, which is play, spend 4 dilithium to gain a ship, or spend 2 to gain a cargo. That's what I really would love to do. So I'm going to play utilize. So utilize is for an action, gain 1 dilithium crystal and 2 for each controlled location you have. So I'm actually only getting 1. And then I'm going to play confiscate to spend 2 dilithium to gain a cargo. So I'm going to gain Lerpa, and because there's a glory token on it, it goes on top. When I gain, I can put this card on top of my deck or in my discard, and I'm going to put it in my discard. So we have Orb of Time that's come out. Okay. I still have 1 action to go. So I'm going to play Tara, and she takes an action, and we send one of our away team to a location. So I'm going to send it to the same location. And then these two cards, Ushantor, we still have that attack, discard an Andorian to gain. I think when I discard, it has to be from my hand, so I can't use that to discard Tara. I've played her already. And then Recruit is still needs an action. So that's the end of my turn. So then we go to clean up. We resolve Stardate, but we can't. We place Glory, so we need to see. I'm going to discard the Orb of Time because it's not a weapon, and I want weapons. And then I'm going to place a Glory. Is that a weapon? No. Zindi Battleship. I think I'll place it on the Binars, actually, because I do want them. Then we discard. And we draw. So we draw one, and now we're going to have to shuffle. So we shuffle our discard. And we put the top card from the reserve on top of our deck. And then we continue drawing. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. A lot of directives there. Then we do resupply. So gain 1 per cargo you have in play. So we get another dilithium. Thank you, Shran. Control, we still can't control that planet. I should be doing these activations, really. So then we have our 3 actions. So I've got a location here. So I'm going to play this, and when we play this, we take control of this location. So it goes into our, what is it called? Fleet area. And this card has control on it. Gain 1 military and 1 influence. So on our tracks, we go up 1 military, 1 influence. And Andoria has an activation. If you have an away team here, draw a card. If you have 3 plus total away teams on 1 or more controlled locations, draw a card. So that's wanting us to put lots of away teams on locations that are controlled. So You Owe Me One is our first reserve card, and this is quite interesting. We can play this for free because there is no action symbol on it. And we can deploy this card and gain 1 glory. And then as a reaction, after you or your opponent plays Utilize, which is a card I have in hand now, we can draw a card and our opponent gets 2 dilithium, or gain 2 dilithium and our opponent may draw a card. So because we're playing this without a proper opponent, there are some rules, but I think you have a virtual opponent who has 1 of everything except a ship, e.g. note. Every time your opponent would be forced to take an incident, skip it and gain 1 glory instead. And that's the only different in terms of what happens. So anything like this, I think we just play the card and get the benefits. So I am going to play this, but it doesn't cost an action. You owe me 1, and we gain 1 glory. And then if we play Utilize, we gain 1 and 2 for each controlled location we have in play. So we now have Andoria as a controlled location. So I'm going to play Utilize. So it takes 1 action. So we gain 1 dilithium and 2 more. And then when we play Utilize, choose, draw a card and your opponent gains 2, or gain 2 and your opponent may draw a card. I'm going to draw a card. We've got Ushantor. But then actually what I'm going to do is, with the Kumari, I'm going to spend 1 dilithium to warp the ship. And I'm going to warp it to Risa. So that card, oh, actually, I'm going to use some dice to mark cards that have been tapped. So I've sent the Kamari to Risa as an activation. And then I have 1 action left. So I think I'm going to play Confiscate. And I'm going to use this action to spend 2 dilithium to gain a cargo. Now, I don't want this bio bed. So I'm going to take the top one, and it's a holosuite, which isn't great, but I can always get rid of this somehow. So I'm going to put that in my discard. And then I'm going to activate Talus. And her activation is discard 2 cards to send an away team to a location. So I'm going to discard these 2 cards to send an away team to the ancient relay station. So that's all my actions. I've got nothing left to do. So we go to clean up. We would resolve the star date, but there's nothing to resolve. So we can discard 1 card. I'll discard Phlox. And then we get to put a token out. And I think I'm going to put it on the binars again. And then we discard all our other cards. And we draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got through our deck again. So we put the top reserve card 4, 5. So the top reserve is Jamel. And she is an Anar. And she has a free action, draw a card, then either keep it or discard it to gain 1 or log it. And logging it is, it goes behind Shran and it is out of the game. So that's how we get rid of cards for good. And how we thin our deck, basically. So we've got our draw cards, then we resupply. So we gain 1 dilithium per cargo we have. So we still only have 1. And then we can look to see if we can control, and we'll only control 1 a turn. So we can We have 3 on Risa. So these will come back. The Kumari will come back, and we get this. We get Risa. It goes into our fleet area. And once it comes here, we look at control. Find up to 3 persons except in your reserve deck and beam them here. So... interesting. Find... Some cases may restrict 1 or more of these positions to look through, with the most common case being exclude reserve, thus restricting you to your hand, discard pile, and draw deck. If multiple suits or traits, any effect, yeah, okay, so I can put some people behind there. I don't really want to put Tara. But then again, it would be quite nice to get people. Jamal. We should have untapped people. I think I'm going to put her... I'm going to beam her to Risa. She looks like she needs to chill out, you know. I think I'm going to keep Tara. I could put her there, but it just limits me from sending people to locations, sending away teams to locations. Okay, I'm not going to. Okay, so we've done our control, so now we have 3 actions. So I'm going to play recruit for an action. Take an incident. So when we take an incident, I think they go into our hand. Yeah. And gain an ally. So I'm going to gain the Binar. So I get these 2 glory. And we can put them on top of our deck or into our discard. I'm going to put them in the discard because I want to keep going through my deck. So the Tholians have come out. So that was our first action. So I'm going to play Tara. And I'm going to send an away team to Ancient Relay Station. This Lurper, it says it's an attack. Force your opponent to dismiss 1 of their duty officers. If they do, they may draw a card. You may put a card on the top of your deck to gain 1 glory. Draw a card for each Vulcan you have in play, excluding this card. This isn't great for me. So I'm going to play Subspace Phenomenon. Discard a card to return this card. If the discarded card has the science, research symbol, draw 2 cards and discard 1 of them. It doesn't, unfortunately, but I'm going to discard Lurper. And then this goes back to the bottom of the incident deck. And then I will spend 1 dilithium to warp the Kumari to the ancient relay station. And is there anything else I want to do? No, I don't think so. So clean up, resolve stardate, nothing to resolve. Place glory. I'm going to knock that biobed out. And we have a cloaking device. Then I'm going to put one glory down. I'm going to put it on the Tholians. This is a good card. You may draw a card, gain 1 Latinum and 2 dilithium for each controlled location you have in play, and then log this card. So it comes in and goes out. And I should say these cards, they have victory points on them, and they also have points directly linked to the crew board as well. So this one, for example, this will be how many points are on the military track, for example. Okay. So we've done placing glory. So we discard. I'm going to discard that red alert and draw. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we go to resupply. So gain 1 dilithium per cargo. We still only have 1. I need to get some more cargo out. We do have to have weapons in play. So we can actually have weapons out here. I wish that was a weapon. Okay, so we've resupplied. Then we can control the ancient relay station. So these come back. Do you know, I think that when we bring these back, the ships should go into discard. I'm just going to check. Let me just check that. All away teams at the location are removed and all ships are dismissed. Move their cards to the discard pile and return their standings to the supply. Yeah, so I did that wrong. Apologies first time. Cheated a little bit. So that goes back into my discard. But hey, cheating's fun. It's not really. Okay, so yes, we take control of the ancient relay station. And when we do that, it has a control action. You may put a card on the top of your deck and spend an action to enlist a development. I'm wondering if I can get a development right now because I only have 2 dilithium. Yes, I could. I could get that one. I could get that one and that one. So I could get Andorian Ale. For an action, spend 2 Latinum to scan for an ally, including from the junk a card from the market. We could get Ambassador Thoris. All players may return an incident from their hand or discard pile. For each incident return, gain 1 glory. Activation, gain 1 for each ally you have in play. Or we could do the Tenebian Amethyst. Gain 2 Latinum. You may log a person from your hand or discard pile to log this card. Special, when you log this card, gain 3 glory. And it is a cargo, but not a weapon. I think I might take that one, you know. So we'll spend 1 dilithium and 1 latinum to get that card. And when we enlist, new card from reserve deck or development to the top of your deck, it goes. So we have to, you may put a card on the top of your deck and spend 1 action to enlist a development. So we have to put 1 card on top first. I'll put Imperial Pride, and then that will go on top. And we need another location. That is Free Cloud. Free Cloud control. You may spend 1 Latinum to scan for a business. And it has activations. I'm not loving that so much. Delta Vega might be good. It has no effects, but it has a military tag on it. Reveal your hand. For each person in your hand, gain 1 dilithium when we resupply. Yeah, that might be quite good. Okay. So I only have 2 actions left. So now we have 3 locations in play. So we have half our goal, and we need 4 weapons in play as well. Can't use Ushan Tor this turn because I need to discard an Andorian. We can use the Holosuite to gain 2. It's not greatly useful. But Utilize is. So I'm going to play Utilize. Gain 1 dilithium. And 2 for each controlled location you have in play. So I have 3, so we get 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a lot of dilithium. And when we play Utilize, we have you owe me 1. After your opponent, you or your opponent play Utilize, choose draw a card and your opponent gains 2, or gain 2 and your opponent may draw a card. I'm going to draw a card. So I have got Tenebian Amethyst. So I think I'm just going to play it. It's a free action and I gain 2 Latinum. You may log a person from your hand, but I don't have one, or discard pile. Oh, to log this card. I do have Tara, but I think I'm going to keep her. I should be logging cards, really. Soon. I've still got 6 more turns. So, do we want to get a card, get some... I really, really want to get some cargo. Okay, I'm going to do Confiscate. It's my last action. Spend 2 to gain a cargo. And I'm going to take the top card. And it's not a weapon, it's a Tachyon Detection Grid. You may dismiss a deployed ship to gain 2 on the research track. Force your opponent to log a cloak from play. If they do, you gain 1. If you have security in play, gain 1. Yes. And I have no more actions, so I can't play anything else. So that's the end of my turn. So we go to clean up. We put, well, we can get rid of someone. So I'm going to get rid of the cloaking device. Wow. Ferengi wine. Going to put that on the folians. So I'm going to discard these 2 cards and all of these, and I draw. I've got 1, so we're going to get another reserve card. Two, 3, 4, 5. And then we resupply, so we gain 1 per cargo we have in play. Still just 1. We've got plenty of dilithium at the moment. Then we can't control anything. So we have our actions. So trade embargo was an incident that came from our reserve, and it has an action: spend 1 gold pressed latinum to return this card. You may refresh a ship. Those 2 are no use to me. Ooh. So my Imperial Pride directive, it has 2 actions on it. And the first is remove an away team from 3 different controlled locations to look at the top 2 encounter cards. So encounter cards are really powerful cards. They have their own separate deck. Take 1 of them and return the other to the bottom of its deck. Or spend 10 latinum and log a controlled location to take the top encounter. If logged card shares no traits with your captain, gain 1 on the influence track. Now the only problem with that is I need to have locations. I need to have weapons. I'm trying to get weapons to be out in play. I just need more weapons. I'm trying to find them. Keep saying more weapons. So I am going to excuse me. Play trade embargo. Trade embargo is interesting because it says spend 1 latinum to return this card. Trade embargo. I'm just going to have a little look online because There is no return. I think it might return to the... No, I think it has to go to the incident deck. It is an incident, just because it's come from the reserve. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend 1 Latinum to return this card. We can refresh a ship, but we don't have a ship out. That makes more sense to me. Okay, so what can we do? What can we do? We're kind of a little bit stuck with the cards we have, and that's partly my fault because I got this tachyon detection grid, which we just can't use. So I think I'm going to play recruit, and we take an incident to gain an ally. So we're going to gain this Tholian, and we're going to put them in discard. They will be useful for us, but I really don't want to take cards, so it's a bit annoying. So we have political crisis now. We can play it to discard a card to return this card. If the discard has the influence, we gain 1 Latinum. If we had an ambassador in play, we could return the card and gain 1 Latinum as well, but we don't. So let's do the first one. Discard a card to return this card. So we will discard Imperial Pride. We don't have that influence, unfortunately, on any cards. And then we can't use these, so that's the end of the turn as well. So cleanup, we go to resolve star date. At the beginning of your next cleanups, wipe the market, removing all tokens and any neutral locations with no tokens present. So all these get wiped. All neutral locations, which is all of them, get wiped. Another cargo that isn't a weapon. And then we have 5 tokens on here. And we put 1 out. So the question is, we have new cards. We still don't have a weapon here. We have Harry Mudd. He requires 3 on influence, which we don't have. Iron Sen requires 3. For each Klingon I have, that's no good to us. We could get the sonar battle cruiser, deploy this ship, steal 1. We definitely want to. I'll put it on the Klingon sonar. So then we discard our cards. I will discard those 2. And we draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we resupply. So for each cargo, which means we get another dilithium. We don't have anything to control, so now it's our actions. So the binars. It's a shame because if we had 3 in research, we could scan 3 for cargo, which is look at the top 3 cards, decide if you want 1, pick 1 or the one that's out, and then put the others at the bottom of the deck. But we don't have 3, unfortunately. Ooh, Derna is good. It's control action. You may spend 2 dilithium to scan for either weapon or doctor. Draw a card. That's a really good action. Utilize. Is interesting here as well because its second action is gain on 1 speciality track for each matching skill icon you have in play, excluding beamed cards. So I could move up 2 on the influence track. Oh, I want weapons. Okay, I'm going to risk it again. I'm going to play the binars. Play, gain a cargo, log this card. So I'm going to gain the top cargo. It's not a weapon. It's the Borg spatial trajector. Oh, wow. That's bad as well. I'm going to put that in discard. And then we log the binars, so they go behind Shran. So I'm going to play Utilize, and we're going to gain the dilithium again. So I gain 1, and then I gain 2 for each controlled location. So I still have 3, so that's another 6. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6. So much dilithium. So that's another action. Oh, too much cargo. I'm gonna get more cargo. Spend 2 dilithium to gain 2 cargo. To gain a cargo. So I'm gonna do it again. A tribble. Wow, where are all the weapons? Oh, this is a bit of a disaster. I will play Tanibian Amethyst to gain 2 Latinum. But I don't have a person. And I can't do that. So that's the end of my turn. So we go into cleanup, which we can't do. So I'm going to get rid of this cargo. That is still not a weapon. Wow. So I'll put it on the Sonar Battle Cruiser, that glory. So we'll discard our cards. I'm going to score it really bad. Real bad. I am getting points for this cargo, but not that much. And I will draw. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at my deck, it's so big. I've got so much cargo in it. I just wanted to complete this goal. So we'll put the top reserve on, but we will get that as the 5th card. And it's the United Earth. Scan for a human, log this card, or take an incident to scan for 2 of an ally. You may free play the game card. If you do, log this card. So she's getting logged. Then we resupply, and we still only have 1 cargo out, but we've got so much dilithium. Where is our... Okay, we can... Are beamed cards in play? That's what I want to know. No. So I'm going to deploy the Kumari. Can you see them? Yes, you can. And I can beam a card there. So I'm going to beam my Lurper. To get that out of the way. And then we'll play Terrar. And we can send an away team out. And who did I like the look of? Yeah, Derna. And then I'm going to play Red Alert, and I can put a card on top of my deck to return this card. So I'm going to put United Earth on top of the deck. You may promote a person from your staging area to duty officer. And I'm going to promote... No, I'm not going to promote Tara. So this goes back. That's the end of my turn, so I discard Tara. Well, not yet. We do clean up first. We want to discard for Singularity. And we've got a weapon, Type 1 Disruptor, so I'll put the glory on that. And then we discard and draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what do we got here? Okay, we have Imperial Pride. So I'm going to play Imperial Pride. And I'm going to do the bottom action, which is spend 10 dilithium. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And log a controlled location. That's what I didn't think about. Okay. I'm going to log Andoria anyway. Because I don't think I'm going to get the weapons out to complete my goal, which is terrible. If the log, and then we take the top encounter. If the logged card shares no traits with your captain, gain 1 influence, and it has no traits. Yeah, no, it doesn't share traits. Okay. So when we take, it goes directly in our hand. So we got Vija. So when we play Vija for free, we can log up to 2 cards from our hand or discard pile. Okay, so I'm going to play Vija for free. And I'm going to log Holosuite. For sure. And I don't know if I need... Human. Interesting. Or take an instant to scan 2 of ally. You may free play the gained card. I think I'm going to log her. And that might be completely stupid. Hold on. I'm not going to log her. I've changed my mind. So I've logged 1 card. Then I'm going to play Tholians for an action. You may draw a card, I will. Gain 1 Latinum and 2... Hold on. 1 Latinum and 2 dilithium for each controlled location you have in play. So now I have 2. So I got 2 Latinum and 4 dilithium. and we log this card. So now I have one action left. So because I'm getting towards the end, and I don't think I'm going to get my goal, which is terrible, as I keep saying, I'm going to play Tanibian Amethyst. We gain 2 Latinum. We may log a person from our hand or discard pile to log this card. So I'm going to log Tara. And I'm going to log, so that logs to be an amethyst. And the special is when you log this card, gain 3 glory. So we gain 3 glory. So at least we're logging lots of cards and reducing our deck. That we can't play either of these cards. So we place glories. So what should we get rid of? I don't think Arson, whatever his name is working. Bolians. Gain 1 influence. Draw a card. You may free play the drawn card. That's a pretty cool card. 3 glory. But I think I'll put it on the weapon just in case. I mean, it's too late. We've only got 1 round left. Discard, so I will discard and draw 5. I haven't even got to my developments. And I've hardly moved up on my tracks as well. It's very disappointing. Okay, so we are resupplying. So I get my 1 dilithium for my 1 cargo. We don't control anything, so we take our actions. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to play Confiscate as an action. Spend 2 dilithium to gain a cargo. So I will gain this weapon. And I think I will put it in my discard. I'm doing that really for the glory because... Oh, there's another weapon. It's a phaser. Bit late. Okay, so I'm going to play Utilize. Gain 1 on gain on 1 speciality track. I'm going to gain military for each matching icon you have in play. So I only have 1, which is on my Kumari ship, but it gets me up to ×2 on my track, on my military track. So, you know, small little benefit there. And then I think I will play my Tribble. So attack, gain 1 on influence, gain 1 Latinum, and then junk a card from the market. We will junk Harry Mudd. Your opponent takes an incident. Dismiss. Is there a rule for that? Yeah, we gain 1 glory. Dismiss all the Klingon if anyone dismissed. That's fine. Have we got anything else we can play? No, I don't think I want to play any of those things. So, clean up, resolve the star date, place a glory. So we will ditch Bruce Maddox. Sorry, Bruce. Not that sorry. We'll put it on the phasers. And we'll discard all our cards. And we all draw. So we draw 1. Shuffle our discard. Get our last reserve. So we've only, which just goes to show I've not played very well. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we do our resupply, so we get 1 dilithium. We don't control anything. Oh, we have a location. Waitahan. See if this location had come out as well. So we've got a weapon. All of a sudden, we would have been close. Oh, come on. Right, okay. So I'll just do this because it's interesting. So I'm going to play Waitan for an action. You take control of this location. Control, you may free play a cargo or a ship. So I have a disruptor here, so I can free play it. It's an attack. We gain 1 on our military track. Junk a card from the market, so we'll junk Sakona. You may discard a Klingon Romulan Breen to remove up to 2 opponent from the same location. Gain 1 for each removed. So we can't do that because we don't have a Klingon Romulan Breen. But we have another weapon in play. So now we've got 2 weapons in play, and we're back to our 3 locations. So we only needed another 2 weapons. But unfortunately, the Borg spatial trajector isn't one. Vija's no good to us. A United... Oh. Do we not play it? Scan for a human. I mean, sure. We'll play Scan for a human. So we just go through the deck and find a human. Vulcan. Romulan. Klingon. Captain Dog. Synthetic, that's Peanut Hamper. Another Klingon, Lursor. Data, definitely not human. Jor-El Dal, not human. Lars, Changeling. Admiral Pressman. Okay, so he gets us points on the military track, so I'm going to put him in discard. So we'll shuffle these back in. Where are we up to? Ah, yes. So I had played United Earth, and then they get logged. And then we have 1 action. So we have Borg spatial projector. which we can't play. So we'll play Vija as a free. We can log bulk spatial projector. But that is all we can do. I have lots of activations which I've forgotten to do. But I'm not going to do them now. So, clean up, resolve the star date. So there are no tokens, so trigger the end of the game. Only take tokens from here during cleanup step. So it's the end of the game. So now we count our score. So, final scoring. 1 victory point for each glory token. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 plus 1 victory point for each token. 1 victory point for each token, away team or ship you have on neutral location. So I've got 1. End game operations on your in-play cards, usually your captain. No, he doesn't have any, and I end game score 4 if 2 or more away teams are here. No. Once you've scored your end game conditions, you can pick up and collect all your cards for easier counting. Okay. So this is where it's a little bit better than Imperium. Unused endgame operations. If a card with the scoring condition is not in play, yeah, wild cards, traits do not count as any other trait during final scoring. Some of the printed victory point values. So I'm going to put things in certain places, things that just have victory points, and then depend on the crew, the tracks. I actually didn't have that many cards that rely on the tracks. So I have 2, 4, 13, 15, 19, 21, 23, 26, 28, 31. And then these two, this is a really bad score. They go on the victory track. So for each specialty track, the highest reach multiplier, not step, multiplied by the number of cards with the matching focus icon. Okay, this is the scoring that I don't. Times 4, 3 4s. Ah, 4 4s, yes. So I had a times 2 and I have 2. So that's 2 2s are 4. So I got 36, which is terrible. So it says, I think I got 36 the first time I played it, which was a long time ago, to be fair. But I think the, yeah, score as usual. If you scored at least 70, you understand how to play Captain's Chair. Okay, I'm going to walk away and have a lie down. I totally didn't understand because I didn't even do the goal. And if you look at the goals on the other side, do I not get any for leftover things? Guess not. No. Yeah, if you look on the other side, there are 3 goals. So you do score victory points for them. This one, you don't. But you scan 1 for a ship, draw a card, and gain an action for that round. Not forever, I don't think. But the first goal is pretty much the same. The reward: scan 1 ship, draw card, gain 1 action. Then you have founding the Federation, have 1 human and 3 different other races, or ambassador communication on the same ship. Reward: gain 2, 2, and 2 on each track. You may send an away team to a location with a star base. Or Andorian Mining Consortium have 3 businesses in play. Yeah, I am bad at this game, so I apologise how bad I am. It's so frustrating to me, but I think it is a complicated game. There's a lot going on, there's a lot of keywords and all that sort of thing, but that is no excuse for how badly I play. The thing is, it's strange with this game because I know that I'm not playing well, and I know what strategy I should be doing. But like, for instance, getting cargo but getting weapons, like I'm risking it to find a weapon by taking a card off the top of the deck, and I wasn't drawing weapons. So there aren't actually that many weapons in the deck. So it is kind of hard because you've got most weapons aren't deployed, so you have to have them played. But I'm very, very bad at this game. I totally admit it. But there we go. I hope you enjoyed seeing how one might play it badly. And maybe it was fun. Maybe you're enjoying laughing at my terrible playing. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.